Next, we will have the national anthem for Iraq.
Hello and welcome to this men's Group D game at the 2022 IWBF World Championships. I'm your commentator for this game, Dylan Cummings from Scotland, bringing you this game between Iraq and Great Britain. Your team rosters are as follows. For Iraq, their head coach is Kaki Abbas, assisted by Ismail Adel. Number 4, Sajid Al-Omari. Number 5, Iza Al-Yasiri. Number 6, Amir Chayad. Number 7, Ala Abdullah. Number 8, Rida Ahmed. Number 9, Saif Al-Tayi. Number 10, Hussein Bashra. Number 11, Laith Al-Atabi. Number 12, Ala Al-Baydhani. Number 13, Haider Al-Siraji. Number 14, Ahmed Shilta. Number 15, Mohammed. And number 15, Mohammed Kara. For Great Britain, it is their head coach is Bill Johnson, assisted by his brother Joey Johnson. And their team manager is Simon Fisher. It's number 5, Simon Brown. Number 6, Kyle Marsh. Number 7, Terry Bywater. Number 9, Harry Brown. Number 11, Phil Pratt. Number 12, Greg Warburton. Number 13, Martin Edwards. Number 14, Lee Manning. Number 15, Ben Fox. Number 16, Jim Palmer. Number 17, James McSorley. And number 18, Lee Fryer. Your referees for this game are, your commissioner for this game is Taichi Nishimura from Japan. And your referees are Daryl Hargraves, Blaine Karapjanov, and Paul Boone Yap. Your starting fives. Have not shown up on the live stats yet. as we are about just over a minute until tip. I would expect this game to go in Great Britain's favour, as they are the reigning and defending world champions. They finished second at the last iteration of the European Championships, and they are reigning Paralympic bronze medalists. Iraq, a developing nation in terms of wheelchair basketball, they qualified for this tournament by finishing 5th in the Asia Oceania Championships last year. So I would expect Great Britain to start strong, and then the Johnson brothers to bring in some rotations and rest their players up, as they have a big game coming up against the US in their next game. GB coming into this game with a win over Iran the other day, and Iraq suffering a loss against the US earlier in the group stages. Tough start for Iraq, to be honest. You know, they're in a very tough pool, and their first couple of games, like I mentioned, against the US and GB. So, but for a nation like Iraq, they're very new to wheelchair basketball, so going up against two of the best teams like GB and the US will only benefit them, as we're about to get underway. Slight issue with the live stats. It's Manning and Al Siraji in for the tip. Foul is on Altay. Ball will go Great Britain's way. It's Pratt on the inbound, finds Warburton. Back to Pratt. Manning gets the first score of the game for the big man, Lee Manning. First points of the game, it dropped for Manning and Great Britain, as Iraq come back with it. It's Abdullah with the ball. Good pressure from Great Britain. Abdullah keeps control of it. Lets it go. It's short. And here we go now. So your starting fives for Iraq: 4 Al Omari, 7 Abdullah, 10 Bashra, 12 Al Beidhani, and 13 Al Siraji. For GB, it's 5 Simon Brown, 9 Harry Brown, 11 Pratt, 12 Warburton, 14 Manning. So their traditional starting 5. It was a starting 5 at the last World Championships as well. And of course they went on to win that tournament in Hamburg 5 years ago. They'll be wanting to repeat that success. Manning inside for GB. He's fouled by Bashra. It's Manning to the line. And Manning, 4.5 classification player from Peterborough in Cambridgeshire. 3-point plays no good. GB get the offensive rebound. Manning dishes to Pratt. Pratt over to Warburton. Fires and hits Greg Warburton with another score for Great Britain. They now lead by 6. As I mentioned, I imagine this to go in GB's favour. But like I said, Iraq will only benefit from playing against one of the best in the world. GB commit the foul. It will be Iraq ball. Bashra now with possession. And a score for Iraq. GB come away with it. Warburton. Pratt. Fires. Doesn't go. Offensive rebound GB. Pratt again underneath, and Pratt makes that one count. A nice assist there from Manning. And of course Pratt and Manning not only teammates on this Great Britain team, but also teammates at the club level for BSR Amiab Albacete over in Spain. Champions Cup winners this season. Bashra now for Iraq. Swings over. And Iraq loses the ball. It's picked up by Simon Brown. Brown to Warburton. 6-point lead, Great Britain. Inside, Manning draws the foul. Foul is on Al Siraji. Manning once again to the line. So Manning, world champion, Paralympic bronze medalist, Commonwealth Games bronze medalist as well. As he makes it that time. The first is good for Manning. And Iraq enter the key too early. Manning will get a bonus. It's no good. Rebound by Bashra. And Abdullah loses the ball. Simon Brown to Warburton. Warburton, it's good. Gets the friendly roll and it converts for Greg Warburton. The man from Lee in Wigan, just outside of Manchester. As his family fly into Dubai today. Iraq struggle to keep possession. Bashra forces it, no good. Great Britain ball from the sideline. It's Simon Brown on the inbound. Finds Pratt. And Pratt, the Welshman from Cardiff, finds Manning inside again. Manning, no good that time. Manning again. Manning third chance. Manning fourth chance, and it goes. Fourth time's the charm for Manning. And I've just been informed that the Warburtons are actually in the building. So they must have got straight off the plane and came here to the World Trade Center in Dubai. So always dedicated fans are the Warburtons. And Greg Warburton converts once again. As GB have a 13-point lead over Iraq. As I predicted, of course, Iraq, very much a developing nation. As I mentioned, first time on the world stage for them. It's great to see so many new nations qualify for these championships. And they will only improve as they play against some of the absolute best in the world. Of course, I mentioned Iraq, having a tough time of it of late. They're up against GB today. They suffered a heavy loss against the US the other day. But they will use every opportunity to improve. As timeout called. 13-point lead, Great Britain. And 10 of these Great Britain players from England, 1 from Wales, one from Northern Ireland. And of course, 2 Canadian coaches and an English team manager. It's Kara. Over to Al-Siraji. Puts it up. And it goes. He gets the friendly bounce. Iraq get another score on the board. It's an 11-point game. Harry Brown now with the ball. Another Champions Cup winner with Albacete. Finds Warburton. Pratt. And 3 of GB's starting 5 play for Albacete. That's Pratt, Manning and Harry Brown. I've got a feeling Albacete will add another Great Britain player to their roster next season, but that's all I'm going to say at the moment. Bashra. No good. Rebound, Manning. And ball is lost. And then comes McSorley, Edwards, Marsh and Fryer. As Simon Brown stays on the floor. So relatively new lineup for GB as the Johnson brothers start to rotate. Marsh inbounds to McSorley, back to Marsh. Over to Fryer. Marsh. Nice ball movement. Edwards puts it up, no good. Rebound for Iraq. They advance it up the floor. Oh, and a miscommunication on the pass. Al Omari is frustrated with that. It will be GB ball. Oh, thank you. Thank you. McSorley over to Marsh. So GB running a 2-2-2-4-4 lineup. Marsh 4-3, no good for Marsh. Offensive rebound, Fryer. Oh, and Fryer can't get a hand on it. Simon Brown frustrated with that. Almost a nice play there. Fryer just loses it. I don't think he was expecting that from Simon Brown. And Sirac now that come away with it. Al-Siraji with possession. Play is stopped as Al Omari is. That's Al Yassiri was down. He's back up now. Iraq inbound. Bashra makes it from the elbow. And Iraq still determined. Marsh finds Edwards. Fryer inside. No good for Fryer. Of course, Fryer very new to this Great Britain team. His senior debut for the 23-year-old from Wakefield in West Yorkshire. And shot is no good for Karat. It's Brown. Gets it to Fryer. Fryer comes back out. Uses Brown as a screen. Swings to Marsh at the top. Marsh. It's no good for Marsh. And perhaps concentration lacking for Great Britain. At the skill level between these two teams is very different. And not quite sure that the Johnson brothers will be impressed with their team's offences recently. It's McSorley to Fryer. Marsh fires. No good. GB struggling to generate, but they still maintain a 9-point lead. They'll need to rack up these percentages as they progress in the tournament. They'll face a lot more tougher competition as the tournament goes on. They've got a big game against the US up next. It's Brown to the line. No good for Brown. Brown, a native of Kingsbury in northwest London, home club of the London Titans. Played for Landell this season. He makes the second. Of course, I don't think they were called London Titans when Brown played for them. I think they were called Aspire Force or London Force back in the day. It's Bashra for Iraq. It will stay Iraq possession. Al Yassiri on the inbound. Bashra. Al Yassiri, and it's blocked by Fryer. But the ball comes off Fryer. Oh no, what? Shot clock violation. GB ball. And Iraq in foul trouble. So if they commit one more foul, they'll send Great Britain to the line. Marsh, Edwards. Puts it up, mismatch for Edwards, it's no good. Ten-point game. Edwards, no basket, 3-second call. Oh wait, no, a foul is on Edwards as Al-Tai commits the foul and Edwards to the line. Edwards from Bury, Greater Manchester, won the British Premiership title with Manchester Revolution this season. Of course, Manchester Revolution, formerly known as Oldham Owls and Manchester Mavericks, they merged together this season and won the Premiership title. And Edwards 1 from 2. Bashra for Iraq. Pressured by McSorley, gets it to, moves it up the floor. It's Al-Tai with the ball. Al Yassiri. Bashra puts it up and it's no good. And it will be Great Britain ball from the sideline. Marsh with control. Finds Fryer. Edwards. Simon Brown. Back to Marsh. Fryer on the screen. Marsh swings back to Edwards. Inside Fryer. Great ball movement. Fryer one wheel. And it's good for Lee. Fryer. Nice ball movement from Great Britain. And Fryer converts off one wheel. .13 lead, Great Britain. Yes. Al Yassiri finds Al-Tai for 3. No good. And rebound Marsh. He carries it up the floor, finds Simon Brown. Foul is on Karat. GB ball from the sideline. It's Marsh on the inbound. We're within the final minute of the first. 35.8 on the game clock, 12 on the shot clock. Marsh on the inbound. Edwards, no good. It's picked up by Aliasiri. He finds, ball can't find. And it's Great Britain to come away with it. Fryer up and in for Lee Fryer. The ball couldn't find Carra on that last play. Refs having a word with the table. Great Britain ball, catch and shoot situation. Brown finds Marsh. Marsh can't go off the glass. That'll bring an end to the first. It is Great Britain with a 15-point lead over Iraq. They lead 21-6. End of the first. And ladies and gentlemen, I have some news posted 33 minutes ago. Simon Brown is the newest signing for BSR Amiab Albacete, so they add another Great Britain player to their roster. Do Albacete, the reigning defending Champions Cup champions. So it's official now. I must say, I did have a hunch. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Brown, newest signing for BSR Amiab Albacete as of half an hour ago. And Dan Johnson and Gary Peel watching in the crowd. Manchester Revolution coaches made the trip out to Dubai. Of course, VIP seating for those who wouldn't expect anything different. Iraq with the ball. Al-Siraji, no good. And Laith Al-Atabi into the game for the first time for Iraq. Marsh with the ball for GB. Marsh. And then comes Bywater, the veteran. No good for Bywater. Bywater, 27-year veteran. Made his debut for GB in 1999. Did Bywater. Paralympic debut in 2000. And it's Al-Siraji who converts for Iraq. They get another score on the board. Warburton with the ball. Offensive foul on Bywater. And immediately he's having a word with the ref. Oh, I think a technical's been called. Oh wait, no, a timeout, sorry. They done the T sign and I was like, oh, technical. But no, it's a timeout. As GB with an 11-point lead over Iraq. As I mentioned earlier, Iraq, very much a developing nation in terms of wheelchair basketball. Great to see them on this world stage. As GB made some rotations in that quarter. Ben Fox also into the game for GB, another Albacete player. Back underway. Second quarter resumes. Iraq. Al-Atabi controls the ball. Al-Siraji, no good. Warburton comes away with it. Fires. No good. Offensive rebound by Fox. The GB reset. Warburton over to Bywater. Bywater pulse up. Can't hit. And even though they've got an 11-point lead, GB really struggling to generate. Not the best game for Great Britain despite this 11-point lead. Offensively anyway, at least. Bashra controls it. Dishes to Al-Atabi. And it's Iraq, keep a hand on it. Bashra. Shot clock ticking down. They need to launch it here. Al-Siraji. It doesn't go. Rebound by Water. Finds Marsh. Fox up and no good. Oh, GB interception. It's McSorley who picks it up. McSorley, the Northern Irishman from Belfast. Marsh fires. Doesn't go. GB really struggling to find their mark offensively. It's a bit concerning to be honest, but nevertheless, they have an 11-point lead. Al-Siraji, it's blocked by Fox, and Fox, wide open lane, Ben Fox, layup good. And Fox from Swindon in Wiltshire, the southwest of England, plays for Albacete over in Spain. A two-time Champions Cup winner is Fox. 13-point lead, Great Britain. Bashra. Al-Yassiri finds Al-Siraji. Al-Atabi. Al-Siraji again with the ball. Puts it up, or tries to put it up. Doesn't go. Good defense from Bywater. Al-Siraji picks it up. And it goes. The second chance is good for Al-Siraji. Warburton with the ball. Still an 11-point game. Warburton, Bywater, over to Marsh. Warburton, Bywater, puts it up, and in for Bywater, the veteran. That's trademark Bywater. Iraq ball. Foul is on Marsh. Iraq from the end line. 13-point lead, GB. Bashra, catch and shoot. Oh, it's short. And it's Fox on the inbound, finds Bywater. Bywater for three, no good for Bywater. Out of Tabby. Oh, pass can't find Al Siraji. Turnover for Iraq. GB ball. 4.5 to go in the half. Fryer is fouled, and oh no, basket for Fryer, but he is fouled by Al. He's fouled by Al Siraji. He'll go to the line for two. Will leave Fryer, the man from Wakefield, West Yorkshire home club. Wakefield Whirlwinds plays for UCAM Mercy over in Spain. First is good for Lee Fryer. Second is good. Fryer converts from the line. Al Siraji finds Al Atabi. And shot clock violation for Iraq. It'll be GB ball. Marsh finds Pratt. He's back into the game. It's the Welshman from Cardiff in South Wales. Swings over to Marsh. Marsh off the glass for Kyle Marsh. Played for Amivel Malaga this season. Previously at Albacete last season. Won the Champions Cup with them. And Marsh from Wolverhampton in the West Midlands. The sole West Midlands representative on this men's team is Marsh. It's a 17-point lead, Great Britain. 3.5 to go in the half. And it's intercepted again by GB Iraq. Just can't keep a hand on it. Pratt finds Marsh. Pratt. Oh, and that's trademark Pratt off the glass. And those of you who remember the Champions Cup final, Albacete versus Bulls. Phil Pratt, 25 points, most of them coming courtesy of that bank shot from Pratt. 19-point lead, Great Britain. They're pulling away with it now. Are GB, the reigning world champions. Fryer is fouled by Al Atabi. Pratt inbounds to Marsh. Marsh for three. No good. 3 ball yet to drop. Iraq on the inbound, Al Atabi. Oh. It's okay. Oh, interception from Fryer. Shilta, and it goes. Ahmed Shilta with the score, long 2 for Iraq. And it's Pratt. Oh, inside, it can't find, oh, it does find Edwards. Edwards just gets a hand on it and puts it up. And a score for the Mancunian, Edwards. Shilta controls it for Iraq. Gets it to Al Atabi. Blocked by Pratt. Pratt controls it, finds Fryer. Fryer to Edwards. Edwards again. Edwards with the finish. 2-man game between the two 4-pointers, Edwards and Fryer. And great interception from Pratt. And now GB have certainly picked up the intensity as this half comes to a close. Shilta with the ball for Iraq. Over. Oh, and it's knocked away. Al Yassiri, it's short for Al Yassiri. Shot clock violation, 38.1 seconds left in the game, 24 on the shot clock. Marsh finds Edwards. Marsh for 3. It's short for Marsh. It's a 21-point lead, GB, at the moment. Altai gets it to Shilta. Shilta with possession inside. Al Yassiri draws the foul. My mistake, that's Al Baitani with the foul. He will get 2 shots for Iraq. First one's good for Al Baitani. And the second as well. Great free throw shooting from Iraq. Offensive foul on GB. My mistake. GB get the ball back. 11.1 on the clock. Pratt inside, Fryer. Foul is on Al Baitani. Great Britain ball, 8.4 on the clock. GB will look to generate a quick offense. It's Pratt on the inbound. Marsh fires and hits for Marsh. And at the end of the half, it's GB with a 21-point lead over Iraq. GB 37, Iraq 16. And GB win the first quarter 21-6. They win the second quarter 16-10. So a lot closer quarter for Iraq in the second. That's a good showing for the developing Iraq side. As I mentioned, Iraq qualified for this tournament by finishing 5th at the Asia Oceania Championships. GB reigning world champions, reigning Paralympic bronze medalists, and finished runners-up at the most recent iteration of the European Championships. Leading scorers. For the leading scorer of the game with 8 points personal is Iraq's Al-Siraji with 8, followed by the other Iraq scorers in this game: Hussein Bashara with 4, Al Baitani with 2, and Shiltat with 2. Meanwhile, for Great Britain, it's Manning with 7, Woburn with 6, Fryer with 6, Edwards with 5, and Marsh with 4. So the scores from GB are a lot more spread out compared to Iraq, where Al-Siraji is leading the way for the Iraq side. Iraq 7, 21, 36%. So GB do have the higher shooting percentage. Obviously it's within the league, but that conversion rate, 16 is not great. They'll look to step up offensively. The half move to a close. But earlier on in the game, shots won their mark. Obviously, as you can see, making 16 shots. Both teams so a 3 ball yet to drop in this game actually. So Iraq 0 for 4 and GB 0 for 5. Both teams very efficient from the line. Iraq 2%, GB 5 for 9, 5%. From the line. Now bringing into the half, it is Great Britain 37, Iraq 16, and 21 for Great Britain. As to be expected, as John's brothers on the side in this half. attack. It will be Iraq ball. Al-Baytani on the inbound. Kara in. Oh, it's blocked by Edwards. And it's Pratt that comes away with it. Pratt. Foul on Iraq. Foul is on Al-Baytani. It's GB ball. And Iraq with the score. Bashra to Al-Baytani. It's intercepted by Pratt. Long pass. Fryer layup is good for Lee Fryer. Kara finds. Goes back to Kara. Al-Siraji. It doesn't go. And GB rush it. Or GB force Iraq to rush it. Iraq now come away with it. It's Bashra. Up and in for Bashra. Long pass. Iraq, nice transition, and Bashra finishes it off. Nice assist from Al-Siraji. 23-point game. It's Warburton with the ball for GB. Edwards. And Edwards is fouled. And Warburton and Edwards, the Mancunian connection. And Edwards to the line for this Great Britain side. First one's no good. And Iraq just entered the key too early. Second no good. It's intercepted by that man Pratt. Warburton. Oh, he's finds Pratt again. Inside to Edwards. And it's good for Edwards with the assist from Pratt. And it's nice defense there from Pratt. Bashra, no good for Bashra. Rebound Pratt. Pratt doing work on all ends of the field here. It's Pratt who carries the ball forward. Warburton fires. Trademark Warburton. As GB up to a 29-point lead. Al Baitani for Iraq. GB ball. Fryer on the inbound finds Warburton. Edwards. Elbow is no good. Rebound Al Baitani. It's Iraq on the inbound. Al Baitani finds Shilta. Bashara. Turnover. Pratt with the ball. Finds Edwards. Over to Warburton. Up and no good for Warburton. It's Iraq. It's Alomari with the ball. Shilta inside. No good. Rebound Edwards. Edwards advances up the floor. Finds Fryer. Fryer with pace. Fryer up. And it will be a foul on Alomari. Fryer, Warburton, Pratt. Up and no good. Iraq ball. Karat. Finds Al Baitani. Bashra. No good. Rebound Pratt. Oh, Fryer is fouled by Al Baitani. Two to come for Lee Fryer. First one's good. Second is good for Fryer. Pratt inbounds to Warburton. Warburton, no good. Rebound. Al Siraji. Iraq move it up the floor. It's Kara. Al-Siraji, it's no good. Edwards with the ball. Edwards. Oh, no good. Shilta. Kara with the ball. Finds Al-Siraji. Al-Omari, layup no good, just short on the layup. Rebound Pratt. Fryer. Swings over to Overton. Pratt. Fryer off the glass for Lee Fryer. And now GB have a 32-point lead over Iraq. And it will be Palmer to the line for GB. Palmer from Chelmsford in Essex. First one, no good. Oh, yes, it is good. Just the camera didn't pick it up. And Palmer plays for the Rhine River Rhinos over in Wiesbaden. And he makes both, does Palmer. Carano for Iraq. Finds Al-Siraji. Bashra fires. No good. And Iraq now in team fouls, so every time they foul, every time Iraq foul, GB will get sent to the line. Iraq call a timeout. 2.5 to go in the third. GB lead by 34. Oh. Back underway. As the third is coming to a close, it's Marsh, Bywater, McSorley, Marsh. No good. Simon Brown. Oh my. Simon Brown has the ball for, no, it's Fox with the ball for GB. Finds Bywater. Bywater screen for Marsh. No good for Bywater. It's Marsh. Fox. Bywater inside. Gets it to go. And that's trademark Terry, the veteran for this Great Britain side. 40-year-old from Redcar, North Yorkshire, is Bywater. Travel called on Iraq. Great Britain ball. Bywater. Marsh. Fox. Marsh. Fires. No good. Iraq come back with it now. It's Kara. And play is stopped as McSorley's out of chair. Foul on Iraq. GB ball. Simon Brown on the inbound. And the foul is on Al Siraji. Bywater for three. There's only one. Terry Bywater. Bywater nails the three ball. And that is what Bywater does. He's a renowned three-point shooter. Marsh with the ball. Simon Brown. Bywater again. Behind the back. And it's Marsh. Hits. What an assist from Terry. And GB with momentum. They now have a 42-point lead. And Terry Bywater just showing his touch of class. And that brings an end to the third. GB finishing the third off strong. 42-point lead for Great Britain. Fourth and final quarter underway. GB with a 42-point lead over Iraq. Shilta with the ball. Finds Karat. And it's Triad, Kara, Shilta. Pressured by Bywater. No good for Iraq, they have to launch it. Bywater finds Marsh. Marsh, elbow, it's good for Marsh. Oh, there is a bird flying around in the arena. I've never seen that before. I don't know how that got into the venue. But there we go. It's literally flying right above my head. Meanwhile, it's Iraq with the ball. Kara with the ball. Shilta puts it up. Short. Rebound Simon Brown. He finds Marsh. Marsh to Bywater. Bywater inside. Makes it. And Bywater plays over for CD Union in Madrid, Spain. He's lived in Madrid for over a decade. And he's still as good as ever as Bywater. He's now got the ball for GB. The oldest player for this Great Britain side, 40 years of age, is Bywater. Inside Fox, McSorley, Bywater puts it up and in for Bywater. Iraq now back on the offense. It's Kara with the ball. Puts it up. Doesn't go. Marsh for GB finds Bywater. Fox inside and Fox converts. Easy money for Ben Fox. Foul is on Triad. GB now with a 50-point lead over Iraq. They've picked up the pace here in this game after struggling in the first and the beginning of the second. Oh no, it's a foul on GB, Iraq ball. Abdullah puts it up. Too hard off the glass. Fox comes away with it. Finds Simon Brown. Simon Brown. Bywater. Over to Marsh. Inside Fox. Gets it to go, was looking for the foul there. Didn't get it. Iraq advanced the ball up the floor. Triad. Kara. Inside. Alomari. And it's Abdullah with a score. Iraq get a couple of points on the board. It still remains a 50-point game. Simon Brown, Marsh, Bywater baseline, bang for Bywater. Abdullah. Puts it up, short. Great Britain ball. Marsh. 4-3, Marsh, no good. Interception, Simon Brown, layup is good for Simon Brown. Brown, the latest signing for BSR Amir Albacete as of this morning. Brown from Kingsbury in northwest London. Abdullah with the ball for Iraq. Finds Kara. Shelta inside Alomari. Shot clock violation. Rebound Simon Brown. Simon Brown putting in the hustle on both ends of the floor. It's Bywater with the ball now. Bywater, Simon Brown. And he's fouled by Iraq. Foul is on Kara. Simon Brown to the line. Home club of the London Titans. I'm sure many of Brown's Titans friends are watching this live stream right now. It's good for Brown. And of course Brown, best friend of Gaz Chowdhury. Shout out to Gaz if he's watching. A second, no good for Simon Brown. Bashra. Kara. It's no good for Kara. 50-point game. No, 55-point game. Bywater, long pass. What a pass. And Fox with a finish. 57-point game. Oh my goodness, what a pass from Bywater. Almost the whole length of the court there. Offensive foul on Iraq. Foul is on Bashra. And it's Brown takes it. Simon Brown takes a break. In comes Harry Brown. And Harry Brown from a different end of the country. He's from Halifax, West Yorkshire, in the north of England. And Lee Fryer, another man from the north of England, finds Marsh. No good. Offensive foul on GB. The foul is on McSorley. Basket no good. It's now a 57-point lead for GB. Al-Siraji. Alomari, nice play for Iraq, and Alomari with the score. Lovely from Iraq. And you love to see these plays pay off for developing sides like Iraq. Marsh with the ball for GB. Finds Fryer. Fox inside, no good. And Fryer picks it up, draws the and one. Foul is on Karat. 2 to come. Oh wait, no, it's not an and one. The basket is no good, but Fryer will go to the line for 2. It's good for Fox. And the second. So it was Fox that was fouled, not Fryer. That's my mistake. As we approach the end of the game, just over 3 minutes to go. And Fox 2 from 2 from the line. Karat for Iraq. Bashra keeps it in, pressured by Marsh. And Iraq have to force it here to beat the buzzer. No good for Iraq. Bashra just short there. It's Marsh. Finds Fryer. Back to Marsh. McSorley. It's good for McSorley. The Northern Irishman from Belfast. Plays over in Bilbao. Home club of the Northern Ireland Knights. And it's GB that come away with it. Fryer to Fox. Fox. Oh, it's no good. But Fryer picks it up and is fouled by Al-Tai. It's Fryer to the line. No good. Second is good for Fryer. Intercepted. Fryer comes away with it. Fryer, fast break. A layup is good for Fryer. Making his senior debut at this tournament is the 23-year-old Lee Fryer. Johnson brothers obviously see a lot of potential in this young player. The double leg amputee is Fryer. Al-Tai with the ball for Iraq. Finds Bashra. He keeps control of it. Defended by Fryer. Bashra, no good. Marsh with the ball. Long pass. Fryer inside. Lee Fryer again. Al-Baitani finds Bashra. Foul is on Fox. As he tries to hustle for the ball, he just crashes into Al-Tai. And we are within the final minute of the game. GB lead 88-24 against Iraq. Al-Baitani on the inbound. Fires, hits. And that's great for Iraq. Marsh inside, wide open, all the way coast to coast for Marsh. Kyle Marsh with the finish. And it's Kara to Al-Baitani. Altai Kara. Altai. Oh, Fox defends it. And it goes to Marsh. GB slow it down now. Finds Harry Brown, and Harry Brown will just dribble this one out. Nice respect. Showing. And it's GB. GB take the 64-point win over Iraq. They win the first quarter 21-6, win the second 16-10, win the third 25-4, and win the fourth 28-4. So Iraq struggling against this Great Britain side, with the exception of the second quarter, where it was a 6-point affair in that quarter. But like I said, GB, one of the strongest nations here in this competition. Iraq, very much a developing nation for wheelchair basketball. They've had a tough tournament so far against the likes of the US and GB as they prepare to face Iran later on in the tournament. But like I said, they will only get better as the more they go up against the best, which they have done so far in the US and GB, and they will only go up from here for Iraq. It's great to see them at this tournament, a developing nation. Here at the World Championships, nonetheless, it's GB that go 2 from 2. They pick up the second win here against Iraq. They won earlier. They won the other day against Iran. And they will prepare for their next group game against the US. That should be one hell of a game. I'm really excited for that one. Of course, the US also going 2 from 2 with wins over Iran and Iraq in Group D of the men's competition. Leading scorers for this game. For Great Britain, it's the youngster Lee Fryer with 17, Bywater with 13, Edwards with 13, Marsh with 10, Fox with 10. So 5 players for GB in double figures, a great game for them. Meanwhile, for Iraq, Bashra with 8, Al-Siraji with 8, Beithani with 2, Abdullah with 2, and Al-Omari with 2. So main scores for Iraq, courtesy of Bashra and Al-Siraji, as Iraq prepare to face Iran later in the tournament. GB will prepare for the US in what should be a classic game. Really excited for that one. Some statistics for this game. GB shooting 38 of 73 from the field, 52%. Iraq 27%, 11 from 14. Only one 3-pointer drops in this game. GB 1 from 7, courtesy of Terry Bywater. Only one. Meanwhile, Iraq 100% from the free throw line, 2 from 2, courtesy of Al Beithani. While GB also 30% from the line, 65%, 13 from 20.
Thank you.